The following is a presentation of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. Student-led, student-centered, student-serving.
Welcome back in, everybody. My name is Carly Evans. For those of you who tuned in for the first game, awesome sauce. For those of you who are tuned into this game, double awesome sauce. If you tuned into both, triple awesome sauce. What can I say? Awesome sauce all around the board, as this will be quite the matchup tonight. We already talked about the aspects of the rivalry game if you guys are tuned in for the girls' game. Now this boys' game, there's going to be a new competitive atmosphere surrounding this, as your Frederick Golden Eagles boys basketball team is sitting at 7-5 on the season. And the Mead Mavericks boys basketball team is sitting at 7-6. So really, you're looking at a pretty even matchup here whenever we're talking about teams that they've won / teams that they've lost to, right? Not necessarily the same schedule-wise, but you are looking at, you know, the similarities whenever it comes to the overall season accomplishments. As for those of you who did not watch the Varsity girls basketball game against these Mead Mavericks, your Frederick Golden Eagles kind of got pummeled, which is unfortunate, right? Not the outcome that Frederick wanted, of course. But yeah, one of the biggest mentalities that I think Frederick just needs to carry over into this game is these boys need to not let that first game get to them just as much as anybody else, right? Whenever you're playing in this rivalry game, you really want to focus on this game and not the mentality of, hey, we lost the girls' game, and you don't want that to carry over into your emotional state going into this game. As me and Ian were talking about this, for those of you who weren't tuned in, we just talked about, you know, what is it really to have a rivalry, right? I mean, this rivalry has been so big for so long. And so it's one of those where we talked about, yeah, rivalries are competitive. It's a lot of physical things that go into this game. One of the coolest things is that aftermath, right? Whenever it's not necessarily the game itself, but it's the players in between, right? It's, yes, you're going to be competitive against you, but we're also going to respect you. We saw that a lot with the girls' game. Clark absolutely dominated that entire game against them. Number 23, she wore it proudly, and quite the number of points she put up that last game. She really played offense and defense to a T, and she was the threat of the game. And it was one of those where she was difficult. She was a difficult player to look in the eyes and try to stop. So with this boys team, as we're going to be going down to the sideline now with Mason Shafronic. Mason.
Welcome down here on the court. About to get ready for tip-off here in the boys game. Tough loss by the girls. Got dominated by the Mead Maverick defense. Boys ain't going to be the same. They're going to turn up tonight. It's going to be rowdy. This barn is fired up. Get ready for tip-off. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Mason, for that hit. As jumping into this game, you know, I was talking about that competitive mentality and also the friendliness and the respect between these two teams in this rivalry game. That's something that really just needs to be highlighted, is play competitive. If you're Frederick, your main focus is focus on the fact that this is not necessarily a rivalry game, but just another game and the bigger plan of things, right? You want to make it to playoffs. You want to go big, not go home. And that's exactly what this Frederick boys basketball team is going to try and do here. As here in a few seconds actually, we're going to go to the tip-off. As our one and only Dante Lechuga is already out on the court starting. Mead will snag the tip-off, as these boys already starting off competitive, but that ball will go soaring out. I think the communication was just off, went for sort of a deep pass almost glanced but didn't really look all the way. And that's something that was a mentality that even the girls struggled with, is that sort of quick look. It doesn't always pay off. Sometimes you really have to concentrate on where you're looking, as that ball will just soar out. Justice tried to get his hand over it. Burton will try and bring this in, searching for somebody. Finds Marcus Garcia. We saw Marcus, I believe, last game that we broadcasted. He was playing fiercely as Dante Lechuga tacks on the first points of the night. 0-2, Frederick leading. And he's able to get the foul too. And whenever you draw the foul and you score the points, it really just goes to show that Lechuga in this situation was fully on top of what was going on and was spatially aware of where he needed to sit. As Mead back again with the ball. As that'll be Frederick's first foul of this game. Burton with the foul. Mead gonna bring this back in. Going right underneath the basket. As that was Matthew Angelo right underneath the basket, scoring the quick points for them as Burton a little off the mark, too far. Angelo back with the ball, searching. And the ball just gets absolutely snatched from him. Marcus Garcia Martin going down and able to do it himself, takes it the full length of the court. This rowdy crowd is going absolutely insane. Frederick now leading 5-2, 6 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Mead back with the ball. Looks like that's Windhorst. Windhorst will come away with the quick points. Now drawing Frederick's minimal lead early on, even closer, now sitting at 5-4. Your Golden Eagles still leading by 1. Justice finds Lechuga. Lechuga searching, doesn't see anybody, and just decides to take it himself. Doesn't pay off quite like how he wanted to. Came up a little shy of the basket, as that'll be Windhorst who's able to snag the rebound and grab it straight from Frederick's grasp. As that's Hubert now. Hubert. Martin playing excellent defense on him. Crump now tried to do it himself. Martin now will become the second foul early on in this game for Frederick. Frederick have to be a little bit wary with how they're playing. This rowdy crowd trying their best to try and shake the footfalls of Kyler Crump, but it's to no avail, as now this game is all knotted up 5-5. Ironically, it's 5-5 with 5 minutes and 55 seconds left, so I don't know. These fives might be a sign of something. I don't know what yet. Change that 5, tack on a 6. As Ollie Justice now has the ball, finds Burton. Burton. Mead already playing pretty excellent defense right underneath the basket. As that'll be Windhorst who tried to keep it in bounds. Looks like that'll be Frederick's ball. Great job by Burton recognizing that ball was out. Lechuga finds Martin. Martin back to Lechuga. Already in great scoring position. Lechuga just has to handle that ball properly as it almost gets taken away. Justice now. Justice slips it underneath to Lechuga. Lechuga, nasty little maneuver. Martin, a little right of the mark. Justice sees the shot he likes, and he likes it indeed. Frederick banging in for the 3. Kyler Crump back with the ball. Crump, little dump off to Angelo. Looks like that'll make it back to Hubert. Hubert searching, finds Hunter. Hunter doesn't see anything. They backpedal a little bit, back to Angelo. Angelo wants the shot, and clean! Mead. I don't think I've seen a shot quite like that in a while. Mead now leading by 1. Lechuga with it. Sees the look, and he responds. Dante Lechuga bites back at the 3 from Angelo. Now leading by 1. Frederick Lechuga with the snatch. Sees the route, intercepts it. Burton. Flip back to Martin. Martin, what a response. 12-9, your Golden Eagles now leading by 3. That'll be Hubert. Hubert finds Winhurst. Winhurst not seeing anything. Garcia playing excellent defense against him. As that'll be Hubert once again. Hubert finishes it off. Justice. Back with possession of the ball. They really have to be careful here. With a game this close. Justice snagging it out of the air. Justice doesn't see anything he likes. Martin, though, sees the look. Bang, bang, choo-choo train, 15-11. Your Golden Eagles now leading by 4. Roughly a little over 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Justice finds Burton. Burton pretty much wide open and gets it off. Burton, Zach Burton took it himself, saw the look, and Frederick is pumped up here early. The energy is so much more different than the girls' game. The girls' game, it was almost a trepidatious nature. We saw the girls, it was a harrowingly close game in the beginning, and then Mead just sort of ran off with it. This game, Frederick is starting off strong, and they are proving their vantage point over Mead. Mead, their response has been sort of lackluster. As this clock winds down from this break, your Golden Eagles still leading 17-11. Still a little over 3 minutes, as this will be Kyler, I believe Kyler Crump, who will bring this in for the Mead Mavericks. As now we have a special guest who's joining us, Mason Shafronic.
Oh man, what is up?
What is up indeed? Kyler Crump, he's been the threat of the night so far for the Mead Mavericks. A little bit of miscommunication right down the middle of the court. Looked like that was George Hubert who went for the pass.
This game's been lethal so far.
It really has. I mean,
It
we're
is.
halfway through one quarter, and already this has been deadly. As looks like that'll be Justice short of the shot. And the ball will fall with an air ball, which Mead's rowdy crowd is very much sure that they're going to use that against him. As Burton will bring this back in for your Golden Eagles. Mason, anything you've seen so far just from a viewer's perspective, what have you noticed that's so dominant about our Golden Eagles so far?
They ride very well with momentum. They popped, 6 in a row or something. They got the crowd behind them. That timeout, huge momentum shift. You saw the boys come off the bench, completely fired up. Excited to see how they come out of this timeout.
And I mean, what you sort of mentioned was like that whole fired up mentality. That's exactly what we're feeling here. This rowdy crowd has been absolutely insane. As Davis tried to find a pass back to Justice, wasn't able to get the ball off. Looked like he got it off, but it was sort of off the mark, bounced right off, but Frederick will gain possession again.
I think Lechuga's having one heck of a night so far.
He really is. We've already seen him tack on a few points, and I mean, 17 already, you're looking at a dominant offense and defense too. I mean, they've played defensively so well. As another steal from Marcus Garcia. Garcia finds Burton. Burton searching for the points that he wants. Doesn't find it. as a complete pass back to Kyler Crump. Crump. And that'll be the first points for Mead in a little bit. So their rowdy crowd is going to go absolutely insane over that one because Coet was able to go up for that. Lechuga pulls a move on Angelo. Angelo. Burton almost got it off for the points. As now Zoe Wittler joins us. Zoe. As one of the big things we've noticed in this game is right now Frederick has just been so extremely dominant on offense and defense. We've already seen them pretty much shut down Angelo, and Crump trying to go right underneath the basket. Doesn't see anything. That'll be Angelo who tries to go back up for it. Lechuga finds Davis, a little bit of a slippery pass. Finds Gabbs in the middle of the court. Gabbs tries to get the points off.
Gabbs doing a good job hanging in the air, able to get that contact, then go back up.
Little under a minute left in this first quarter. Gabbs will go to the line. Frederick still sitting at 17 points, so obviously dominant here early on. Mead hasn't really been able to retaliate with much of anything, but Gabbs was shanked the first shot. Now for the second. Mead's rowdy crowd using any tactics they can to try and throw him off his game. Gabbs ace pretty much on that shot. Angelo, he'll find Hubert. Hubert, pump fake. Looks like that'll be Mativer. Back to Crump. That'll be Coed, who just takes the shot himself. And Angelo will finish it off, able to snag the rebound right off of Frederick's fingertips. Now Justice with it.
Frederick's got to box out on that one. You can't have 4 Frederick defenders down there and Mead gets the rebound and puts it back up. You got to box out, limit them to 1 shot, because that just adds not only obviously points, but momentum for Mead.
Exactly. Marcus Garcia tries to kind of do a crossover dribble. It didn't really work like how he wanted it to. Gabbs! Logan Gabbs. He's already kind of had a name here tonight for himself. That, just another show of it. Hubert, back around pass, finds Angelo. Angelo back to Hubert. Hubert, shy of the basket. So after one, we're going to jump into the keys if you'd like. Here in a minute. But first and foremost, just props to the girls team that played. I know it wasn't an ideal night, but it was a difficult game, obviously. As we're gonna jump into Zoe's keys.
So the first one, guys, set the tone. Looks like Frederick's already done that. They jumped out to a 20-15 lead to end the first quarter. Right, you just gotta take in the energy in the room, use it to your advantage, build off of it. You also need to speed up their guards, right? A sped up guard means a bad pass. It means a turnover, a steal, something like that. Any option is Frederick's advantage to speed them up. And the third one is keep Angelo contained. He is their leading scorer, just by far their leader on the team, and so to keep him contained means to keep Mead contained.
Exactly, couldn't have said it better. And that point about Angelo already has been able to tack on a few threes. He's been kind of a deadly threat even underneath the basket too. So he's kind of like a dual threat player, I would say. That's something that I have noticed. As looks like Frederick able to retaliate. That was Davis with the points. As now Hubert will have possession from Crump. Hubert, kind of a stutter step. It didn't really work as Justice intercepts the pass, tries to find anything that's open. And Mead's rowdy crowd saying he stepped out. Looks like that call will sit. As that'll be Coet to Crump. Crump and another big name already tonight here early on. As Justice, I don't know how he got a hand on that, but he did. He went soaring in the air. If we're not the Golden Eagles, I don't know what we are.
Soaring to get that pass, huh? Now exactly what Frederick wants, right? I just mentioned speed up their guards. That pass is a cross-court pass. It's really odd because when you look at it, he's open. But by the time the ball's in the air and to get to your teammate, defense, and in this case, Frederick's going to jump to get it, and it's not there anymore. And you saw it, Frederick got the ball. We're able to convert.
And that was one heck of a hit for Hubert. I don't think I've ever seen anyone. I mean, we heard it from here. That was loud. Frederick not happy with the call as this will send Hubert to the line. Was that called on Gebbs? I believe it was. Either Garcia or Gebbs.
They did. It looks like they called it on Gebbs there on the board.
As Lechuga, he was able to snap some ankles previously. He snapped number 10's ankles once again. Looked like that was 10 Mativer. As Garcia dumps it underneath to Davis.
Frederick doing a good job going inside and out. They got to Davis both times, able to draw that foul, and it just gets the defense shifting inside out, you know, having to shift and look with your head. And there's also your shots, like your percentage improves from the arc if it goes inside. Or like that, in that case, they give it to Lechuga for an easy 2. Rolled out, but that's all right. It'll be Mead with the ball.
Mead with the ball. As Hubert tried to get a hand on it. Davis, though, able to grasp it off the fingertips. Justice now with possession. Can they make something happen here? 22-18, leading by 4. Little under 6 minutes left in this first half as he was denied. I mean, really no other words to say with it, but forget. Really, I have no words. That was impressive. I mean, it was a denial, and then it was a full swing of just, we're going to go down the entire court and do it ourselves. And this will bring this game to a mere 2-point difference.
And Mead also did something that's really tricky, which is finishing an easy layup. That sounds so simple, but the easy layups are the ones that like that in your back of your mind, you're going, dang, this would be such a good highlight, or this would be such a cool play to get the defensive block and then finish it back, can actually be the hardest ones to finish because you're thinking about it, right? You're not thinking about, oh yeah, finishing contact or whatever, right? You're like, look at this, is so wide open, you know? And so Mead just did a phenomenal job. Get that steal, go finish, come back, build the momentum, close this gap to a 2-point game.
As Lechuga off the mark. Lechuga takes the second shot. And although not good for the first one, good for the second. As now Angelo has possession. And Angelo's pass will just go soaring out. Looks like he was trying to get the ball down the court to Hubert. But Hubert was being carefully guarded. As Hubert makes up for it. Now 22-23, a 1-point difference between these two. Looks like fast pass from Clapp. Clapp searching, finds Justice. Nobody really open right now. Mead playing exceptional defense. They put pressure.
Martin's staying under control there as Mead gives him a little contact. Hunter just right in the back. He stays strong, doesn't try to do anything. You know, just kind of embraces the physicality.
As Lechuga will bring this in. Martin finds Clapp. Pass gets intercepted. Looked like he stepped out though. kind of an obvious one. If I could see it from here and I need glasses that I don't wear, I think the refs can see it. Martin gonna bring it in to Lechuga. Lechuga. Making a move around Hubert. Finds Clap. Clap. Trying to shake off the defender who finds Lechuga in the corner. Looked like he was gonna go for the look. But I mean, under the basket works too. Really can't go wrong with that. As Hubert, another big name we continue to hear throughout tonight. Justice snagged it right over his head. Ball was going for Hunter. Didn't make it over there. As Clap off the mark, but Lechuga gonna try and finish this drive himself. Doesn't pay off. Hubert will snag the rebound. As it'll be Angelo, that threat to look out for. Martin trying to guard him. As Mead, Seth Coet, the freshman, takes the shot, sinks it. That's pretty impressive. As that'll be Justice trying to shake off Angelo.
Yeah, that's not a good mix of a little gutsy and a lot of confidence, which is what you need.
Exactly, exactly. As this game is all knotted up 25-25, 3 minutes, 43 seconds remaining in this first half. Lechuga, once again, gonna bring this in. As timed it perfectly, knew that Hubert would go up, he went up higher. As Frederick trying to score quickly in retaliation to their own points, Windhurst. Looks like that'll be a call on Davis. So, looks like Davis go to the bench here briefly. As Angelo, searching, trying to shake off Martin. Goes underneath and looks like Clap's a little confused. Doesn't quite know what he did there.
And sometimes you just gotta
know when to back off a little bit.
That, and like, it's kind of a debate, you know, you can always ask the refs, they tell you can, you know, hey, what did I do, you know, whatever. Just kind of read it.
Yeah.
If you're really curious, maybe if it's an intense moment, or if maybe that's your third foul, and you're like, goodness, like, I cannot figure out, you know, what I'm doing wrong, or what I need to do better, what they're looking for, whatever, you can ask. You know, in this moment, I think Clap did the right thing. It's just kind of like, I don't know, maybe he didn't agree, whatever, to shake it off, move on.
Exactly. As Lechuga slips right underneath Hubert's legs. Angelo will regain possession. As looks like that'll be another call. Looked like called him for maybe a push. I couldn't tell, like, what it was exactly.
I saw that he had his hand on the back side of his back, right? And sometimes that's all a ref needs to see. And it can be frustrating as a defender because maybe you weren't, you know, really pushing or whatever it may be, but a lot of times a ref is going to look for something. Same with a swipe down. A lot of coaches will say swipe under when you're trying to steal the ball, because even if you swipe down and you only hit ball, that just downward motion looks like a foul, and so the refs are going to call that. So that might be what they were looking for there, which is that hand riding on the back.
As Lechuga, once again in the same boat, dumps it back underneath to Martin. Martin finds Lechuga. Lechuga sprinting up the middle of the court, and it's not quite what he wanted. This will be Zach Burton now bringing it back in for Frederick. Frederick hasn't scored here in a little bit. They're now trailing by 1. They've kind of been stifled here these past like minute and a half. And the momentum swing, it's definitely noticeable. Burton Back to Justice. Justice tries to take the jump shot himself. As Angelo working along the sideline, trying to break off Clap. As Martin will take a tumble.
Both teams doing a good job keeping their poise as the leads keep changing. The games get close. None of them are, speeding up too much. We have seen some turnovers, but for the most part, they're keeping calm, not really affected by anything that doesn't go their way.
As Angelo, once again, back at the line. Looks like they're already in the bonus, so that's not what Frederick needs here in a game this tightly knit together. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining before this first half winds down. Angelo, second shot is good. Garcia to Lechuga. Lechuga trying to find anybody open. Doesn't see anybody, finds Burton though, somehow, miraculously. Burton dumps it back to Lechuga. Lechuga is gonna take the shot himself, and quite the deep shot that was. I mean, there was nothing necessarily open, and so kind of had to make ends meet. It felt like there was really no lane of space whatsoever. As Angelo, once again, with possession of the ball, kind of pump faked it in Martin's face. As Lechuga will go down. I believe that was Coed again, the freshman. Minute 30 left. Garcia trying to fight back. Now only trailing by 2. Your Golden Eagles need to make up for the momentum that these Mead Mavericks have sort of gained this past few minutes. As Angelo snuck pretty much right up the center of the defense. They didn't even pretty much see him coming, which is unfortunate for Frederick.
Yeah, perfect read. Saw that Frederick's eyes were looking the opposite direction and just took that as a chance to cut on the backside for a wide open, 2-foot shot.
As looks like Garcia stepped out. What an impressive feat that would have been to keep that in. I mean, last game, whenever we were broadcasting it, he had that nasty, back-to-back play where we saw him pretty much stand out amongst all the players on that drive in particular, and then go and finish it off, too. And that was impressive in itself. Another thing that would have definitely been kind of a flex moment if he would have gotten that. Kept it in bounds as Hubert trying to find somebody, finds Angelo, his trusty man that he's always gone back to. Angelo back to Hubert. Hubert short of the mark as Garcia will snag up the rebound. And Justice dumps it underneath the Martin. Martin trying to finish it off. Instead, that's Hunter. Hey, being long-limbed helps you in that situation, that's for sure. As Garcia finds Burton. Burton's alone. And he sinks it. Not necessarily perfectly, of course, but.
No, good pass ahead by Frederick, finding Burton wide open in that corner. And Burton did a good job, but just, as soon as he saw that Garcia got that rebound, he took off down the floor. And a crazy shot there by Mead. A turnaround chuck up, but it unfortunately left his hand before the buzzer, after the buzzer went off. And
which,
so it won't count.
If you're him, ouch a little bit, because that's kind of like a okay, what can I say? Brush off a little bit of dust, Might have to tack that one up on the trophy shelf, but.
Absolutely.
As here in a minute, we're going to go down to the sideline for an interview. But before we do that, Zoe, is there anything in particular that maybe Frederick could kind of clean up on, I think, this game? Is there anything in particular that sort of stood out to you?
I would just say make the easy ones. No one's missing on purpose, of course, right? But you saw a couple ones. It was Lechuga, Martin, and I believe Davis all missed 3 shots right under the basket. and that if they made them all 3 of those, it would have added 6 points, right? So that's just a different type of ball game.
As here, we're going to go down to the sideline now with Mason Shafronic. Mason?
Down here on the court, 1-point game, Coach. What is it going to take to get over the hump and secure the victory tonight?
Oh, we got to do a better job defensively. We're getting lost in transition. We got to match up quicker and rotate quicker. We just got to play better defense.
Better defense. What has been the key? What has been the best element of Frederick's game tonight?
The best element?
Yeah.
Getting out and running. We've been able to get some early looks. We got to keep running and pushing the ball and trying to get early looks in the offense.
Thanks, Coach. 1-point game. Thriller here tonight. Stay tuned for the second half. Back up to you guys.
As thank you for that hit, Mason, with Coach Conway. As we will be right back here with this closely knotted up game on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Do you want a reliable realtor who you can trust with your money and owning or renting a home? Then you can turn to Zadell Realty, and specifically Greg Zadell. Greg is a local realtor who helps people buy and sell both homes and investment properties. He has an extended knowledge of the market and is extremely involved in the community. Along with being a local realtor right here in Frederick, Greg Zadell is extremely experienced in his profession. Not only is he a broker, but also the owner of Zadell Realty, located in the Carbon Valley area since 1980, just over 42 years as of now. Make sure to watch for the Zadell Real Estate article in the Consumer Report. You don't want to miss it. You won't regret it when you rely on Zadell Realty.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
In Frederick, we believe in rolling up our sleeves, not just for ourselves, but for each other. We believe in playing outside until the stars flicker on and protecting the hallowed ground of childhood. We believe in a lifelong commitment to actions as good as our intentions. We believe in the power of our voices and the obligation of our hearts to form a strong foundation. We believe we are onto something that's worth all we can give it. Here, the life we dream of is ours to create.
I think the future is bright for Frederick. I think we understand our identity and who we are, and we don't want to lose that.
The town is really built on the community of people and how everyone almost treats people like family.
I see an opportunity to have a seat at the table and to show our worth and our value and our undeniable characteristics of being a lovely community that's welcome to all.
Hi, I'm Coach Matt Lloyd. I'm the head football coach at Frederick High School. You're watching the Golden Eagle Broadcasting Network. Golden Eagles, let them fly.
Hey, Kyle Michael here with Michael Real Estate and Remax Momentum, and I'm here at my office in downtown Frederick, Colorado. As a Colorado native and a resident to Frederick over the last 8 years, we truly understand the entire Carbon Valley and Colorado market. With offices in Frederick, Brighton, and Westminster, I covered the entire Front Range area. I've served over 130 families from Alt to Monument to Deer Trail to Grand Lake. As a small business owner myself, I understand how much time and effort it takes to be successful, which is why I continue to support local businesses, schools, and nonprofits through our Sip and Support series, coat drives, and other events. I value hardworking individuals. It is my mission to continue giving back as much as I can. We would love to serve you or your family. Give us a call, 303-944-4191, and go Golden Eagles.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name is Carly Evans. Alongside with me is the one, the only Zoe Wittler. Wittler. It's fun to say. Like, it's like a, I don't know. It's like one of those weird things, like a guilty pleasure, right? Wittler.
I'm glad.
We were gonna start. Me and Ian were gonna start a. What was it? We said something. I can't remember. I was the one that said it. I should probably remember. It was like a. It wasn't Wonders of Wittler, but that would be good. Maybe we should change it to that. I forgot what it was, but it was like wow, along those lines. And we were gonna do like a play of the game, and or worship in Wittler.
Worshiping.
That sounds weird.
That sounds like yeah.
Sounds a little
that
cultish.
Sounds like I'm really cocky or very cultish. I'm like, guys, bow down to me. Like, yikes, that's a little freakish.
There's a minute left in this break. Your Golden Eagles trailing by 1, 33-32. This game is already, it's been a good game so far, this first half. Ian was talking about how one of the things that we should incorporate at Frederick is to bring our mascot out whenever we're doing like school games. We don't do that enough.
I know.
There's never the mascot.
We have the mascot.
We have the mascot.
You know, and he came out originally when we first transitioned from Warriors to Golden Eagles. He came out, but we haven't since, and we should ask about that.
As this clock winds down. And
it looks like it's going to be Mead's ball to start. Burton trying to get a little friendly with the refs there. You know, sometimes you got to make some jokes, you know? You can't just, like, stand there awkwardly by yourself. You got to, like, say something.
Exactly. You got to be
you know?
social.
Riley in our game was like, I like your tattoo, like the ref, or they had the same one or something. And she was like, you know, you just can't make it awkward.
As Angelo Once again, he was probably like the main threat of the game. You talked about him in your keys, so I mean, he's obviously made a name for himself. As he goes up, already making statements here, blowing kisses and kissing babies. As now they lead by 3. I mean, he went up for that one.
He did, and it was a good scoop too. Brought it out around the defender and just rolled it right in.
As Garcia now has possession. Mead playing close defense against Frederick. Frederick unsure where to go from here. Burton signaling for Martin to move across the court. Finds Justice though. Justice finds Martin. As that would have been a wide open Burton in the corner, possibly a shot for the 3. But instead, this will be Crump who will take it in for Mead. So frustrating outcome there. As Crump wasn't able to do it, but Windhurst finishes it off. As full pass all the way across to Dante Lechuga in the corner, who finds Garcia. Garcia gets denied, swatted away by Hunter. Angelo. Martin will go down hard.
Good play by Martin, getting himself set up early, taking the charge. Kind of offsetting what happened with Marcus, right? And even just the energy side of it. You know, I don't want to keep harping on, you know, something that you're like, okay, stop talking about it. But in this game, in basketball in general, in games in general, momentum matters.
Exactly.
You know, especially in a rival game, you need to use their energy to your advantage.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. As Martin gets denied again. As full chuck, Justice tries to get in front. Would you say that was a strategic flop?
You know, honestly, I don't think there's any flopping at all. I think it was complete contact. You know, Justice just a tad, you know, a second too slow there. But not even a bad foul. You know, it was a hustling play, excuse me. You know, and just, you ended up making contact. You were, you know, attached, so you can't do anything about that. But not a problem, though. Coach isn't going to be upset about it, shouldn't be upset about it.
Exactly. I agree with that. As FHS Booster Club, Frederick High School Booster Club carries on the long tradition of supporting the students of this community. The purpose of Booster Club is to provide the funding and manpower for the homecoming tailgate celebration, the after prom party, grants to student groups and clubs, as well as scholarships to graduating seniors. We're always looking for parent volunteers, so if you're interested in becoming involved, we would invite you to reach out through our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us, or attend our next meeting in the FHS Library. If you're wanting to be more involved in the community and have a desire to do something that benefits the students of our community, we'd love to hear from you. Again, please visit our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us if you'd like to get involved. We welcome any supporters, not just parents. The FHS Booster Club is a proud partner of GEBN, as looks like that's Crump in the corner trying to get the shot off. Got it off, but bounced around the basket and was denied. Burton sinks it. Now that was a nothing but net.
And a beautiful quick release. You know, a quick bounce pass from Justice right through the defender's arm. And if Burton would have taken even a half second slower, he would have been blocked. So just a perfect, beautiful pass to hit him right in the shooter's pocket, and then a beautiful release by Burton.
As that foul will fall on Windhurst, as Garcia is going to bring this in. Obviously, we're still trailing by 2, but there is, I would say, kind of a significant momentum swing that we're starting to see, right? Like, there's almost this, like, okay, we know what we need to go down and do, so let's do it. And they're sinking a lot of these threes.
And that's the mindset you need to have, is that, you know, who cares what the score is, you know, to a certain extent. And let's just go get the job done.
As Davis will airball that one. A little wide of the mark. And Mead's rowdy crowd is going to voice their opinions. Very loudly, might I add. Crump with the shot. Now that was a clean response. I hate to say it, but that was as clean as they come. Burton. Bounce underneath to Davis. Davis, things not really working out for him these past 2 back and forth drives. As Crump has it once again. We saw him take the shot earlier. This time, not it. As now we're trailing by 5.
Crumb's miss is going to help Frederick a lot because that 3, we saw the possession before, dagger. Nothing but net, beautiful. That was kind of what they call a heat check. You know, in his defense, it hit rim. It's still a good shot, a good miss. But, you know, Frederick's going to need to, in these next possessions, come out on him even closer. And also, just capitalize on the fact that he just missed that one. Right? He's just going to be a little bit more hesitant in his 3s to come.
Exactly, as there is 4 minutes and 20 seconds now. And Coet will now have the foul, as looks like Mead sitting at 4 fouls. So got to be cautious of that as Justice responds. As Angelo, both Lechuga and Burton fired up about that. Lechuga now gonna bring it in.
Burton with the ball. Attacking.
Burton. Looks like that'll be Hunter, who was able to snatch it right away from him. Cohen in the corner. Finds the lethal threat known as Hubert. And ironically, Hubert and Hunter hit the same fix the hair pose at the exact same time. So obviously the synchronization between these two, obviously noticeable with not only the hair, but also how they're playing. They're both playing at the same caliber, and it's been pretty lethal and kind of scary to watch the two of them with their communication. As Garcia dumps it back to Lechuga. Lechuga way over. As I think that was
that foul will be on Angelo, their 15th foul. His third.
Third.
So not bad, but just something to be aware of
yes.
for him.
And that's something that we talked about even last game whenever we were broadcasting it. Just be cognizant of how many you have. And just be aware of where it's sitting at too in like the timestamp of the game. As Crump to Coet. Coet back to Crump. Garcia trying to guard. Backpedals to Hubert. Hubert searching, doesn't see anything. Lechuga gets possession. Lechuga sort of in the corner, but wants the shot. Justice not able to finish it off. Burton, can he secure it? No! Davis finishes it off. A little bit messy there with some of those shots, but
a little messy, but Frederick did a good job at just staying with it. They were there every single offensive, and every time an attempt was made, all of them were going to rebound and looking for the next open person to keep going, keep going, keep going.
As this will bring up 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in this third quarter. As now Frederick leading by 1. This game has been pretty much closely knit this entire time.
You know, something I'd be interested to see, and I wish we had this stat, is like how many lead changers there's been this game.
I feel like that would be so interesting. Me and Ian, I believe we were talking about how many times that the ball was swatted in the girls' game, because there were a lot of nasty swats that we saw from both sides of the ball, both on Mead's side and on Frederick's side. As Rocky Church, would you like to meet an Olympian, connect with a D1 athlete, or talk with a Twitch streamer? Rocky Students is a part of Rocky.Church, and they are all about connecting students to their purpose. They believe students are the future, and their goal is to help you be empowered, encouraged, and supported. There are many ways to connect with Rocky Students. You can start by watching their monthly podcast on YouTube, where you'll hear from guests on a multitude of topics. I might be featured on there at some point. Show up on a Wednesday night to hang out with friends and meet some incredible guest speakers, or even join their gaming community on Discord. Follow them on Instagram at RockyStudents_Frederick to learn more.
You know, Carly, I don't know if this is out there yet, but I heard you're speaking at Rocky Students.
I am.
Coming up. Yeah?
I am. I'm speaking on January 29th.
Hey, guys, mark your calendars.
I was about to say, mark the calendars.
Come to Rocky Mountain Christian Church, Frederick campus. Carly is speaking.
I promise you I will not disappoint. As now, Lechuga. What can he do? Finds Justice. Nobody covering him. And that's what we call ding, 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 ding. Tack on another three. Now leading by 4, 44-40. These Golden Eagles just warming up. As that'll be Hunter. Back to Coet. Back to Crump. Crump being guarded closely by Lechuga. Lechuga not going to let him get anywhere. Lechuga watching him, swats the ball, almost gets it. Coet, we've seen him take some of these deadly shots himself, not able to do anything with it. Lechuga finds Justice, searching, almost gets denied. Crump wasn't able to keep it in.
Good hustle play, though. Those are like, I mean, I want to say 50-50. It probably wouldn't be, quite that dramatic, probably of a difference. But, that's just a great hustle play. And if you can get it in, that, it's just adds so much to the game. Your teams feed off of it. And then, okay, so what? It doesn't. Your foot was out before. Okay, it's their ball. It was going to be anyway. Like, you're not hurt from it.
Exactly. As Justice falls over as he takes the shot, but still. Sinks it anyways. Impressive feat. As Hubert back with it, trying to shake off Burton. And that'll be Crump with the response. A mere less than a minute remaining in this third quarter as Lechuga breaks ankles, and what a show that would have been if Davis finished it all off. Crump, he won't let the distraction get to him. Flying men apparently does not bother him. Burton and Davis, great communication. Lechuga, will he get it? Windhurst able to snag the rebound. Crump, 15 seconds remaining in this third quarter. And then only a quarter to go before this rivalry is hopefully put to bed. Windhurst, clock running down, takes the shot off the mark. As we are going to be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broad.
Do you want a reliable realtor who you can trust with your money and owning or renting a home? Then you can turn to Zadell Realty, and specifically Greg Zadell. Greg is a local realtor who helps people buy and sell both homes and investment properties. He has an extended knowledge of the market and is extremely involved in the community. Along with being a local realtor right here in Frederick, Greg Zadell is extremely experienced in his profession. Not only is he a broker, but also the owner of Zadell Realty, located in the Carbon Valley area since 1980, just over 42 years as of now. Make sure to watch for the Zadell Real Estate article in the Consumer Report. You don't want to miss it. You won't regret it when you rely on Zadell Realty.
And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name is Carly Evans. Alongside with me is the one, the only Zoe Wittler, as we have now entered this fourth quarter. And this tedious ball game will continue with Burton bringing it in for your Frederick Golden Eagles. 4-4 matchup here as Garcia searching. Everyone's kind of a sitting duck at this point. Got to spread out. Burton. Nasty move on Angelo. He goes up. Gets denied by Windhurst. And got the call. As Frederick.
It's looking like they're going to call goaltending. Which just means that as soon as the ball's in the air, you can block it. But as soon as it starts to come that downward arc, you can't. And so they're going to call and say that it was on its downward arc when he slapped, not only just blocked it, but he slapped the backboard with it. So they're going to call the goaltending, give him the 2 points. And then because of the body, he's going to get a free throw. So it's treated basically as an and one.
As Frederick still leading by 5. 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this game. 39-44 the official score. Burton hoping to make it a few more. As he'll bring it up to 6 points, the difference. Still obviously a minuscule difference. And this pendulum could swing either way. As Hubert has it, finds Hunter. Hunter getting guarded by Davis. As that'll be Davis's second foul. A lot of the crowd disagreed with that. Angelo, quick response. What a way to bite back. Now 46-50. Your Golden Eagles only leading by 4. Justice. Don't know how he did it, but he did. Might be following in the footsteps of some unknown older brother.
And airtime in my opinion, can kind of just counter height. You know, as long as you can outlast them, then you can do exactly what Lechuga just did. He might have been taller than him, but Lechuga was in the air, able to hang in the air longer, finish it.
As Crump will go to the line. Crump. (52-47). Your Golden Eagles leading by 5. I mean, it's kind of insane how close this game has consistently been. I don't think there's ever been a time where it's been such a huge, like, oh, they jumped out into like this 15-point lead and now they have to like come back and claw their way back into the game. I mean, it's been very dominant for both teams, I think, equally so. And right now, I think it's just a toss-up.
Absolutely, and the way this game is going is that free throws are going to be the winner of this game. If Frederick keeps their lead, or if Mead takes the lead, by the end, it's close enough that whoever's down is going to have to foul to stop clock. What that means is that whoever's up is going to be on the line. And in order to close the game out, you need to be able to make those free throws.
Exactly. As Angelo getting physical with Burton. Foul ended up being on the wrong number 4, in my opinion, Burton. Joking. Hubert will bring it back in. Immediately back to Angelo. Burton, gotta be cautious. Windhurst, right over the head of Marcus Garcia. As Windhurst is able to go to the line. It sounds like Garcia has played a fairly clean game. Only one personal foul so far. Windhurst. He's now dragging this down to a 3-point difference. Zoe, I think you might have jinxed it, depending on how Frederick can come back and score here. I don't know, Mead might have a chance at evening this all out.
Yeah, maybe, but, you know, also we've just...
Never mind.
Well, basketball's just a game of runs. They talk about this, you know, you're coached about this. You can't get down on yourself if a team all of a sudden goes on a 4-0, 6-0 lead. You need to be able to keep your composure and be able to answer back.
As the Mavs will take a brief timeout. And in order to drown out their rowdy crowd, Zadell Realty. If you are looking to buy or sell a home, Greg Zadell at Zadell Realty is your community-centered go-to person. Greg is a local realtor and broker who has been selling homes in the Carbon Valley area since 1980. He's an active supporter of our community, FHS, and a proud partner of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. If you need a realtor with deep knowledge of the market, Greg Zadell is a great choice. Watch for his monthly real estate article in the Consumer Report or email him at greg@zadellrealty.com. Greg Zadell and Zadell Realty, your community-centered realtor.
We've been talking about these lead changes, right? How it's been going back and forth. And something that Frederick has to be careful of is there's still 6 minutes left in the quarter, and they are already at 4 fouls. One more sends Mead to the line. I mean, the momentum, just like the way the game is, could change very quickly.
Exactly. Crump. Back to Hunter. Hunter searching. Finds Matever. Matever. That'll be Crump bringing it back in. Nasty move from Hubert. Don't know how he got it underneath the basket to Windhurst. Windhurst tries to go up. Lechuga able to grab it from the pile of hands. As Lechuga gets denied by Hubert.
Lechuga's been able to get some of those air timing finishes to go, and something that he could also, you know, start to look at is now that the defense is going to anticipate him doing that is for the kick out.
Justice with possession. Little over 5 minutes. And that 5 mark, it's interesting. We talked about that beginning of the game. Game was knotted at 5-5. There was 5 minutes and 55 seconds left. And it was a lot of 5s. I don't know what significance these 5s will play, but I don't know. We'll see. Might be just speculation, of course. Burton back to Garcia. Garcia finds Davis. Davis right in the line. Garcia back to Lechuga. Lechuga takes the shot. Can Lechuga do it? He can! What can Dante Lechuga not do? 59-51, your Frederick Golden Eagles now leading by 8.
They will call a technical foul on Lechuga.
As, what a shift here. Conway, rightfully so, going to have a word with the refs, just trying to figure all this out. Nothing can change the shot, though. And both times makes it look easy.
Frederick
4 minutes
needs to
and
get a
45
stop here to
seconds.
prevent this from going to a 5-point swing, or even potentially, a 4 to a 5-point swing.
As Crump squeezed in between, almost gave Hunter a clear shot. Coet back in for the Mead Mavericks. Crump fights Coet. Coet, originally a pump fake, but gives it away to Hubert. As Key Club need volunteer hours, want to help our community? Then you should join Key Club, an international organization dedicated to service. Join us after school on the 2nd and 4th Monday of each month in room E118. You mentioned that 5-point kind of swing point. We're at that right now. Is there anything that maybe they could work on here late in the game? Do they need to focus on keeping the ball away from them? Do they need to just play extremely well defensively or offensively or both? What's kind of the strategy here that you're kind of like feeling out?
Value the basketball. I think it's too early to start pulling it out, and it's too close. However, you do have a lead. All right, it's only 4 points. But, right, so you don't need to force anything is what I'm going at. However, you still need to score, and now there's only a 2-point game, so Frederick needs to be able to value the basketball. Look at the offensive reads, make the right passes, but don't force anything.
A 2-point difference, as you put it. United Power, just a reminder that our broadcast is brought to you in part by United Power at United Power. We're a proud partner of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network and proud to power local sports and local schools. United Power, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative. And just a little shout out to Yearbook, too. The 2024 Frederick High School Yearbook staff is excited to capture the memories and moments of the 2024-2025 school year. Please make sure that your FHS memories last forever by purchasing a 2025 yearbook. Prices will increase throughout the year, so buy your book now. I think I've kept every single one of my yearbooks that I've gotten.
They're pretty fun to look back on.
They really
you know?
are.
And not only relive your memories, but as you grow up with the kids, you're like, oh my goodness, you were so little.
Exactly.
Look how much you changed.
I've
Or
stayed at the same
there's
height
some people
for
that,
how many years? So
don't change.
Like
their
me.
face, I swear, I'm pretty sure I look the same. But, okay. I was homeschooled until 8th grade. So my only yearbook that I really have is in 8th grade. But from 8th grade till now, I really haven't changed. But there's some kids that, I think one of the funniest things is that Frederick does the senior superlatives of who's changed us since freshman year. And man, you look back at some of those pictures and you're like, wow.
You're like, that was you?
Yeah.
Really? Lechuga back in possession. Finds Davis. Davis almost pulls a you ladies all right move as he tries to snag the ball from the air. Technically saved an entire bench worth. So I guess that's something. As Hubert has possession, finds Windhurst. Windhurst back to Angelo. Angelo speeding. Somehow, little bit of trickery and a little bit of magic. Pulls it off right under Zach Burton's nose. Lechuga, stutter step. Pass back to Garcia. Garcia searching, doesn't see anything. Tries to dump it underneath. Pass gets intercepted by Windhurst. Windhurst bodying his way down.
Good look from Garcia though there, but that pass has got to be sharp. It's got to be quick. This will send Windhurst to the line.
this game all knotted up. Zoe, forget that 5-point deficit. We're looking at an all knotted up even game between these two rivals with under 3 minutes remaining in this game. So it really is down to like the finest line you could probably think of. Granted, once we're inside probably the last minute, that's going to be really where it counts.
These are some of the most entertaining games to watch. You're just on the edge of the seat because anything can happen.
As that'll be Davis trying to shake off Hubert. Finds Burton, who finds Justice. Justice to Martin in the middle of the court. Martin shifting, finds Lechuga. Lechuga, what can he do? Trying to get rid of Crump, dumps it underneath to Burton. Burton getting tag team. Martin in the corner. No words. Unfortunate, how about that?
Good
That's
basketball,
a good word.
what I would say.
Agreed.
Good basketball from both teams. Good defense by Mead. And good Frederick from finding the open shooter. And this is a situation we were talking about. Frederick is at 5 fouls. That foul across on the whole other side of the floor by Burton. Hustle play, right? I mean, coach might argue with that. Either way, on the opposite side, right? Not even close to a shooting foul, but it puts them at the line to extend this lead to 3 points.
As now, Angelo to the line. I don't even know if Frederick's chorus of booing can really shake him off, as he's been pretty much perfect. And once again, what a threat he has been. Justice now with the ball. Justice, double team. As the ref will blow that dead before anything else happens. Fouls on Crump for the Mead Mavericks. Lechuga. Shifting, motioning men, tries to take the shot himself, a little short. And now, what are the Mead Mavericks going to do within the next minute and a half? If they continue to do that, that's dangerous. 59-64, your Golden Eagles now trailing by 5. Nearing only a minute remaining.
Frederick needs to come together as a team. Not one person is going to be able to be the quote-unquote hero. It's going to take team effort.
Burton trying to maneuver his way down the court. They know what's at stake here. Not what they need to do. Burton clearly upset about that. Windhurst, Davis, Crump. They're going to just try and hold this ball for as long as they can, try and run down this clock too. That's what's dangerous. That was smart. They realize you're within less than a minute, right? And you're down by 5. And regardless of how you look at this, it's a tedious situation, right? I mean,
they're just kind of rolling the dice right now. You're going to get out there. You're going to foul. Put them at the line. Automatic 2 shots. If they make this, it's an 8-point game. However, if they miss, right, both or one, it's your ball, and you're kind of, you know, playing the game. They miss both, still a 6-point game, only 2 possessions. They make one, you know, you're going just back and forth with what could happen, and you're kind of just having to guess of, you know, and how long, which we've talked about this too, but the unfortunate thing is you got to think about too, like how long are you going to are you going to fight or until you're going to accept the loss? Right now, Frederick 100% is in this game. But if they foul, send them to the line, 8-point game, aren't able to convert, and they foul again, then you're kind of at, again, another kind of rolling the dice of, okay, this is risky. What are we going to do with it?
Officially on the clock, 48.5 seconds. Still a 5-point difference. Angelo gonna hang on to this ball, getting double teamed. What is he gonna do? Burton.
The double team was good because you can tell that Frederick's gonna try and go for a steal first before they foul. You're gonna, I wouldn't necessarily say a 2-and-1. You're gonna go, and if they don't call, if you don't get the steal, it's a foul. So you stop the clock. And if you do get the steal, great, now it's your ball and you're going back the other direction.
So he misses the first.
Yes, he does. We always want to go for that steal first because there's chances that it's not going to be called.
Exactly. As you said, the best way to describe this is roll the dice, right? And I think that's what they're going to continue to do in everything that they do here. Because really, this is just... Right now, it comes down to luck. And what can your team put together? Garcia off the mark, wide, far right. And that's one of those shots where, honestly, I wouldn't take it at that time, right? Like, your feet aren't planted fully. I don't think you're fully cognizant of what's really at stake.
It can go either way. He wasn't necessarily set, but at the same time, your time is going up.
That is true.
You have to score. And so it can kind of go either way with Garcia's decision there.
Angelo back at the line. Does this second free throw seal the deal for Frederick?
Yeah. It does. You have 8 points, you're down 8 points, only 20 seconds. Frederick has not been able to get probably their last 6 possessions to convert. Their odds are not great right now.
10 seconds. And that'll seal it. And they're going to show off maybe a little bit to make it a 10-point difference. And the Mead Mavericks to run away, I guess stampede away, with a 10-point win. As we're going to go down to the sideline now with Mason Shafronic and Dante Lechuga. Mason.
Down here on the sideline with Dante Lechuga. Heartbreaking defeat there. The boys led most of the second half, became unclutched when it mattered most. What led to not being able to score there at the end?
Can you say it again?
What led to not being able to score there at the end?
I shot a dumb shot, to be honest. That's on me, so we got to take better shots in crunch time.
The end was not great for Frederick, but you played very well tonight. How many threes did you put up?
I have no idea.
Well, boys will head home. Good game tonight. Boys played well. Thanks, Dante. Final score tonight.
And thank you, Mason Shafronic, for that. It looked like we had a pop-in from Jacoby Caker, too. With that concludes our girls and boys basketball streams for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network, as I have been Carly Evans alongside both Ian McKendry, if you were watching the first game, and Zoe Wittler, and a special pop-in feature from Mason Shafronic, who deserved his own shout-out, of course. Thank you to everybody who was on the team. Thank you to everybody watching, and have a good rest of your night. Drive safely, too, if you came all the way out here, and if you decided to watch, too. And stay tuned for our